In a small Egba town nestled among thick forests and winding rivers, a boy named Shodeke was born around 1775. From an early age, he showed signs of leadership, strong, wise beyond his years, and fiercely protective of his people. While other boys played, Shodeke watched elders and listened to stories of war, survival, and courage. His father, a respected hunter, taught him the ways of the land, while his mother taught him the importance of justice and compassion. As he grew, he became known not only for his strength but for his fairness in settling disputes among his peers. The elders began to take notice. That boy, they would say, is destined for greatness. Little did they know that Shodeke would one day lead his people through their most dangerous journey to find a new home where the Egba would thrive. But before that, he had to learn the art of war, the secrets of trade, and how to unite a scattered people under one dream.
Do not forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel for more moral stories. Watch to the end to get the summary lesson of the story. Once again, welcome to the YouTube channel Whispers of the Ancestors.
The Yoruba lands were in turmoil. Rival kingdoms clashed, slave raiders loomed, and villages were burned overnight. The Egba people, once proud and strong, found themselves divided and vulnerable. Many had been captured or scattered. Shodeke, now a young warrior, could no longer sit and watch. He began traveling from town to town, calling the Egba together. "We must unite or be destroyed," he urged. His voice echoed through markets and palaces. Some listened, others doubted. But Shodeke's passion stirred something in their hearts. With his charisma and sharp mind, he began building alliances among warriors, traders, and even chiefs. He studied routes through the forest, rivers for trade, and scouted lands far from their war-torn homes. Then came whispers of a rocky land by the river Ogun, Abeokuta. A place that could protect them. But it was wild and unknown. Many feared the journey, but Shodeke believed it was their only hope. He stood before the elders and declared, "Follow me to a land where no man can chase us. A land of stone and strength. We shall build a new home, together." Night fell heavy on the Egba as families packed in silence. Children clung to mothers. Warriors sharpened blades. Shodeke stood at the front, face lit by firelight, eyes fierce with purpose. "We move at dawn," he whispered to his trusted men. Fear wrapped around them like a cloak. They weren't just moving, they were fleeing from death. As dawn cracked the sky, drums beat softly. The Egba exodus began. Hundreds moved like shadows through the forest. Behind them, the smoke of war rose from their burning villages. They walked for days, through thick bush, across rivers, past enemy territories. Hunger gnawed. Wild animals howled. At night, whispers of betrayal crept in. Some elders questioned Shodeke's choice. "He is too young," they muttered. "What if Abeokuta is cursed?" But Shodeke pressed on. One evening, as they neared River Ogun, a scout returned bloodied, ambushed by slavers. Panic erupted. Mothers wailed. Warriors gripped spears. "We fight," Shodeke growled. That night, under moonlight, he led the first defense. Blood soaked the earth, but the Egba held. It was a message to all: they were no longer prey. They were reclaiming destiny. The first sight of Abeokuta broke the silence of the forest. A giant outcrop, Olumo Rock, rose like a sleeping god above the trees. The people gasped. "This is the place," Shodeke said, voice thick with awe. The rock had caves, hidden paths, and a view of the land for miles. It was natural protection, perfect for a new home. But it wasn't unoccupied. The forest whispered of wild animals, secret shrines, and hunters who vanished. Some feared disturbing sacred ground. The elders gathered. "Are we to fight spirits now?" one asked. Shodeke stood before the rock, placed his palm on its side, and whispered, "We came in peace. Let this land protect us, and we shall honor it." That night, the first fires were lit beneath the rock. As families lay down on bare earth, Shodeke walked the perimeter. He saw movement, a pair of eyes in the dark. A knife flashed. He dodged, tackled the stranger, and wrestled him to the ground. A boy. Starved, wild-eyed, alone. Who sent you? Shodeke asked. The boy only wept. Shodeke let him go, but the warning was clear: not everyone wanted the Egba to settle. Not all enemies were chains. Days turned into weeks. The Egba worked endlessly, building huts, digging wells, clearing farmland. But hardship brewed. Water was scarce. Food ran low. Children cried through the night. Shodeke walked from home to home, comforting, encouraging, trading his own rations for others. But not all were grateful. A group of warriors led by Chief Shodeke began stirring unrest. We didn't flee one master to serve another, he spat. Shodeke is not our king. A secret meeting was held. Shodeke, informed by a loyal boy, burst in with fury. Do you want to tear apart what we've bled to build? He roared. If so, let the gods judge now. He drew his sword, laid it before them. Strike me down or stand with me. No one moved. Shodeke turned and walked into the night, heart pounding. That night, a hut caught fire. Flames danced high. A child's scream pierced the air. Shodeke sprinted into the fire and carried the boy out. Bound and coughing, he collapsed, but the people had seen. The next day, Shodeke bowed before him. You are more than a warrior, he said. You are the soul of our people. Unity, once fragile, began to harden, like rock. Abeokuta began to flourish, but danger still circled like a hawk. One morning, a caravan of strangers arrived, well-dressed, bearing salt, cloth, and muskets. They smiled too easily. Their leader, a sly man named Ajayi, requested a meeting. Let us trade, he said. Shodeke eyed the strange goods, then noticed shackles hidden beneath a cloth. Slavers. We deal in goods, Shodeke said coldly, not flesh. Ajayi laughed. Every man has a price. That night, a child went missing. Then another. Panic spread. Shodeke ordered a search and caught two of Ajayi's men dragging a boy into the woods. They confessed. In fury, Shodeke summoned the entire village. We are not for sale, he thundered. Ajayi and his traders were stripped of their wares and exiled. But it left a wound. Some had quietly accepted gifts. Trust fractured. Shodeke stared at the horizon. To protect our people, he muttered, we must watch even our own. Rain came hard that season, flooding fields and rotting food stores. Crops failed. Hunger crept in. At night, whispers haunted the wind. Some accused Shodeke of angering the gods. A priestess, Mama Koto, claimed the land was cursed. She demanded sacrifice. A life, she said, for the gods to forgive. Fear made people listen. Some nodded toward Shodeke's hut. He brought us here, they whispered. When Shodeke heard, he didn't sleep. The next day, he called for a meeting. He walked into the square with a goat on his shoulders. If blood is needed, take mine after this one, he declared. He slit the goat's throat, its blood soaking the earth. He fell to his knees. Let the land judge me. Thunder cracked. Rain stopped. Sunlight broke through. The people gasped. The gods have spoken. Mama Koto stepped back, her power broken. That night, the villagers prayed, not out of fear, but faith. Shodeke had become more than leader. He was now legend. Shodeke's mother, Aya Odiyu, visited in a dream. Her eyes were heavy with sorrow. Beware the friend who smiles too long, she whispered. He woke in sweat. The next day, a former rival, Chief Bamese, arrived, bearing gifts. He praised Shodeke's rule and offered allegiance. Together, we can build a kingdom, he smiled. But Shodeke remembered the dream. He accepted the gift, but not the man's trust. Days passed. Suddenly, wells dried up. Livestock vanished. Scouts found strange footprints near storage huts. One night, a hidden tunnel was discovered beneath the greenhouse. Sabotage, Shodeke growled. Bamase's men were caught red-handed, siphoning food to their own camp. Shodeke's eyes flamed. He summoned Bamase. You want a kingdom, he said coldly. Then rule over rocks. He banished the traitor beyond the Ogun. That night, Shodeke poured libation to his mother's spirit. You still protect me, he whispered. But deep down, he knew more betrayals would come. A fierce skirmish broke out on Abeokuta's outskirts, raiders from Dahomey testing their strength. Shodeke led the defense, spear in hand, his war cry shaking the trees. Blades clashed. Blood flew. In the heat of battle, an arrow struck his side. He fought on, slaying 3 men before collapsing. His warriors carried him home. Word spread, Shodeke was dying. Wailing filled the air. We are finished, some wept. But in the dark of night, an old herbalist, hidden for years, stepped forward. Let me try, she said. She mixed roots and ash, packed the wound, and chanted ancient words. Days passed. Fever raged. Then, silence. Shodeke opened his eyes. We are not done, he rasped. Cheers erupted across the land. The people saw it as a sign, Abeokuta would not fall. Not while Shodeke still breathed. Healed but limping, Shodeke climbed Olumo Rock at dawn. Alone. At the summit, he raised his staff and swore aloud, so long as I breathe, no enemy shall claim this land. Even in death, I will guard it. Below, the people gathered, watching him like a figure from a tale. That day, he gathered all the clans. We must become one. No more divided lineages. We are Egba of Abeokuta, storm-born and spirit-blessed. A sacred oath was made. Each chief poured palm wine on Olumo's base. One blood. One land. That unity changed everything. Trade increased. Wars rose. Hunters returned with bounty. But in the shadows, far beyond the Ogun, a foreign flag rose on the coast. The British had arrived. And with them, a new kind of danger. As peace settled, Shodeke turned his gaze to trade. He reopened old caravan routes and invited Nupe, Ijibu, and Oyo traders to Abeokuta. Under his leadership, markets blossomed. Palm oil, kola nut, and cloth flowed in abundance. He negotiated fairly, ensuring the Egba were no longer cheated by cunning middlemen. He placed trusted men at border routes, protecting merchants and taxing foreign traders, revenue that built roads, granaries, and watchtowers. Women praised him for protecting market days. Young men gained purpose as guards and messengers. Even distant kingdoms began to respect Abeokuta's rise. Shodeke, once a warrior, now wielded diplomacy like a blade. True power, he often said, is not how many wars you win, but how many stomachs you fill. His wisdom became proverb. The Egba were once scattered, Ijemo, Ek, Owu, and others rarely saw eye to eye. Shodeke saw disunity as a slow poison. He gathered the clan leaders beneath Olumo Rock and proposed something radical, a council. No one man would rule, all would decide. Let us be many voices, but one spirit, he said. The Egba Council was born. It became a model of balanced governance. Shodeke ensured every town had a say. Disputes were settled with fairness, not force. For the first time, Egba people felt seen, heard, and valued. Festivals began to blend cultures. Marriages crossed clan lines. Children learned not tribal pride, but Egba identity. Shodeke hadn't just built a town, he was building a people. As Abeokuta grew, so did the fear of losing their heritage. Shodeke acted. He built shrines and supported priests and priestesses to preserve traditional worship. He encouraged griots and storytellers to teach children the tales of their ancestors. Masks danced through the streets during festivals. Drums never stopped speaking. Shodeke also started a learning circle, where elders taught history, wisdom, and farming techniques. If we forget where we came from, he said, we lose the right to decide where we are going. He welcomed missionaries with caution, warning, share your book, but do not burn ours. This balance allowed the Egba to modernize without erasing their soul. Shodeke was not just a protector of land, but of memory. In his old age, Shodeke walked slower, spoke softer, but his presence still commanded silence. One day, he climbed Olumo Rock one last time. From its peak, he saw the town bustling, children laughing, traders shouting, drums echoing. A tear traced his cheek. "It is good," he whispered. That night, he gathered the council. "My time ends," he said, "but do not weep. I have given you land, unity, and pride. Keep them." At dawn, he passed quietly in his sleep. All Abeokuta mourned. Bells rang. Markets closed. Warriors stood still. Even the river flowed slower. They buried him near the rock, beneath a carved stone that read, "He walked with us. He bled with us. He rose like the rock." Years passed, but Shodeke's name never faded. Each time a council met in Abeokuta, they left a chair empty for him. Children learned his story before they learned to write. His wisdom guided future leaders. When colonizers came, they met a people who stood tall because one man had given them roots. Traders still blessed his name for the markets he built. Elders poured libation to his spirit. Shodeke had not just lived, he had carved himself into the soul of a people. Even today, when the winds rustle through the caves of Olumo, some say you can hear his voice, "Protect the land. Honor the past. Work as one." And Abeokuta listens. Chief Shodeke's life teaches the following lessons. 1. Unity through inclusion. Shodeke built a council where every clan had a voice. This teaches that lasting success comes from collaboration, not control. 2. Strength balanced with compassion. He led with courage in battle but showed mercy and care for his people. Meaning that leaders thrive by balancing firmness with empathy. 3. Strategic partnerships, not blind trust. He welcomed traders but exposed hidden threats swiftly. Implies that you need to be open to opportunities, but always protect your values and vision. 4. Cultural preservation amid progress. Shodeke embraced new ideas without erasing tradition. Grow and evolve, but never forget your roots, they're your identity. And 5. Leading by example. From walking through hunger to risking his life in fire, he never asked what he wouldn't do himself. This means that true influence comes from actions, not words. Be the standard you expect from others.